Well, set your DVR. The opening ceremony for the Rio Olympic Games is next Friday night right here. The world will be watching, and that kind of exposure makes it a prime target for terrorists.
Tonight, KXAN's John Dabkovich takes an in-depth look at whether Brazil is capable of protecting all of the athletes and fans.
Security is already very visible in Rio. Armed police and military have taken up post in this city, but will it be enough in a city that is already plagued by crime?
One thing that terrorist groups like to do is project power. Therefore, any kind of event, such as an attack on a hotel, a hostage taking elsewhere, is going to drive the Olympic coverage to that.
Fred Burton is the chief of security for the Austin-based consulting firm Stratfor. Before that, he was head of the State Department's counterterrorism unit and is one of the few people in the world who have been in charge of security at the Olympics.
And everything was going well until the bomb went off in Centennial Park.
I didn't want to be another person.
And nobody's bothering you.
Burton was in charge of security for the '96 Games in Atlanta, when a bomb blast at a concert outside the Olympic Village killed one person and injured more than 100 others.
They're not going to be able to secure every potential target set in Rio for the Olympics. You can't. In essence, think in Atlanta, where we locked down the Georgia Tech campus and we had the bomb outside of the security perimeter.
And many of the so-called soft targets won't be protected by the highly trained security forces brought in from the U.S. and other countries. It will be these guys, the state police. Earlier this month, they protested inside the city's airport, upset because they hadn't been paid in a month, warning tourists, we won't be able to protect you.
As you know, this is not a city responsibility in Brazil, it's a state-level responsibility. I think they do a terrible job on security. They do a terrible job before the games and after the games.
The Brazilian government says it will have 80,000 police officers working the Olympics. Burton says the U.S. will also send security forces to protect American athletes, but he doesn't know how many because that's negotiated behind closed doors. What he does know is that the games are an inviting target for terror.
The eyes of the world will be tuned in to opening ceremonies. So whatever happens in Brazil, even outside of opening ceremonies, will resonate around the world.
Burton says another issue is the growing number of terrorists who are self-radicalized. They don't have any contact with known terrorists, which makes it hard for intelligence officers to know who they are ahead of time and easier for them to slip into an Olympic venue. John Dabkovich, KXAN News.
It's not just security. The Zika virus and Brazil's economic crisis may also discourage some travelers and VIP guests from coming there. Around 28% of Olympic tickets have yet to be sold.
And these are all concerns KXAN's Alicia Inns has thought through as she prepares to cover the games for us. Right now on KXAN.com, check out her thoughts about Zika and the steps she's taking to stay safe while bringing us exclusive stories on all of the athletes with Austin area connections.
Yeah, she's going to have fun, too.
Absolutely.